Throw it back, baby.
Call of Duty, how far the mighty have fallen. Do you remember the days when Call of Duty was the biggest game on YouTube and at one point the biggest multiplayer game in the world? Do you remember when Call of Duty games were actually very good? There's been so many bad ones in the last decade that they're starting to destroy my love for a franchise that used to be one of my favorites. So what happened to Call of Duty? How can they make it good again? Can they make it good again? Call of Duty from 2007 to 2013 was literally unstoppable. That era was golden. The games were so good. I remember watching YouTubers like TBNorFrags, Scumpy, iTemp, Syndicate, and of course the almighty Ali. And let's not forget the infamous FaZe Clan. I remember those dinners when I was watching COD YouTubers while eating, only to then jump on the game with my friends and grind it for hours upon hours. Sometimes we'd play for so long that it was almost morning when we turned off our consoles. In that era, it felt like every single COD that was getting released was just as good as the last one, if not better. So, what was the peak then? When did this trend start to change? In my opinion, the absolute peak was Black Ops 2. It's mine and many others' favorite Call of Duty game for a very good reason. It also still is the best-selling Call of Duty game of all time. The game had everything. It was the complete package. After Black Ops 2 came Ghosts, and things started to slowly change. Ghost wasn't as bad as people make it out to be. In hindsight, it was actually quite good compared to some of the CODs we've gotten in recent years. But Ghost was the starting shot for a new era of COD. Something was changing. After Ghost came Advanced Warfare, and this is in my opinion where it all went wrong.
Throw it back, baby.
A lot of the things we don't like from Call of Duty today comes from this game. I understand why they did what they did though. At the time, people was complaining about Ghost being the worst Call of Duty of all time. People were complaining about the lack of innovation in the game. People felt it was too dull. If only these people knew what they had started. Activision and the developers, of course, heard all of these complaints from the community and decided to act. They were not going to play it safe anymore, so they went all out. They went super futuristic, they added jetpacks, laser guns, advanced movement, maps with lots of verticality, and even supply drops. Yes, supply drops.
Back again. I'm assuming you're not here for my pretty face. So, what'll it be?
Throw it back.
While the idea might have sounded fun and refreshing on paper, and I remember there being a lot of hype surrounding the game before the release, what we got was very underwhelming and quite sad, honestly. In their desperate try to be more innovative, they had killed the most important part of the entire franchise: the Call of Duty identity. What do I mean by the Call of Duty identity? While it's quite hard to put a finger on, it's a concept I think we can all sort of understand. Take a game franchise like Battlefield. These games are all about semi-realistic, large-scale warfare. The maps are massive. You can drive vehicles. There's hundreds of people in the lobby. Or sometimes less, but you get the point. It feels like you're in the middle of a giant battle. I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, Call of Duty is all about small-scale, simple, fast-paced, addictive FPS gameplay. It's not supposed to have giant maps, vehicles, or snipers where the bullet dips after a certain distance. Call of Duty was never about that. Call of Duty was never about being realistic or some cool futuristic alien shooter. It was a fast-paced military shooter that was simple to grasp and play for anyone, but hard to be the best at. The simplicity of it was the beauty of it. Call of Duty was almost like an evolution of arcade shooters. You play on different maps, either alone or with friends, and you try and win by getting the highest score. If you were good enough, you got rewarded with kill streaks that helped you or your team. Speaking of streaks, I feel like going on a streak in the later Call of Duty games is so unsatisfying. Which is crazy because that was one of the things people loved most about Call of Duty over the other shooters. Streaks are one of the most iconic parts of the franchise, yet they don't even feel satisfying anymore. I can't even explain why, it just doesn't feel right. The rush you felt when you were one kill off that final streak in the older CODs is unmatched to this day.
Opening door. Get ready.
The feeling you get now is nowhere near to that. And it's not just the streaks, is it? It's the whole experience. From skill-based matchmaking that feels like it punishes you for being good, to overly complex weapon customization that drowns out the fun. And don't even get me started on the damn battle passes and storefronts that feel more important than the actual gameplay. The actual gameplay, in other words, the game that we buy and play. I mean, every year it feels like they add more layers of complexity and monetization, eroding that simple, addictive core that made Call of Duty, well, Call of Duty. It feels like the developers, or perhaps Activision itself, have lost sight of why people love these games. They're chasing trends, trying to be everything to everyone. Battlefield 1 minute, Apex Legends the next. And in doing so, they've become a pale imitation of their former self. Oh so pale. They've literally optimized the fun out of the game and forgot about their foundation, us. So, can Call of Duty be good again? Can they find that lost identity? I mean, I genuinely believe there is a way, but it requires a fundamental shift in philosophy. First, they need to simplify, simplify, simplify. Strip away the excessive bloat. Bring back a streamlined pick 10 system. Make gun attachments meaningful but not overwhelming. And for the love of God, ditch the constant pressure of skill-based matchmaking in public matches. Let players have fun, experiment and feel powerful without constantly fighting against an invisible algorithm. Second, embrace the arcade identity. Forget trying to be hyper-realistic or chasing every futuristic trend. Focus on tight, well-designed maps for 6v6 combat. Bring back the thrill of a perfectly timed flank. Make kill streaks feel truly earned and impactful again, rather than just another checkmark on a persistent score counter. And finally, listen to the core community, not just the casual players who dip in and out, but the dedicated fans who remember what made this franchise special. Give them the classic Call of Duty experience they crave. They deserve it. If they can do that, if they can truly understand and commit to that identity, then maybe, just maybe, the mighty can rise again. Maybe we can once more experience those late night grind sessions, the unmatched rush of a high kill streak, and the pure, simple joy of Call of Duty. Until then, many of us will just be left wondering, what happened to Call of Duty?